small boy Ladakh sir, exhaust sir, full sound sir. Royal Enfield is a brand that needs no introduction. For ages now, its motorcycles have given countless number of people the passport to getaways like this one. And well, the Classic 350 has been its most popular motorcycle for over 10 years. Any motorcycle over 10 years, it simply means the generational update is due. And well, enough of the rumors, enough of the speculations and the spy pictures. Hello and welcome to DriveSpark. I'm Stephen Neal and this is the next generation Royal Enfield Classic 350. What are the new features? What does it come with? And what does it feel like to ride? We're here to answer those questions for you. So let's take it for a spin. Bling is the word that comes to your mind when you look at the Royal Enfield Classic 350, especially in this shade. It's called chrome red, so obviously there's got to be a lot of chrome in it, and there is. So you've got the mirrors finished in chrome, you've got the headlamp surround, instrument cluster surround, the front mudguard, even a part of the tank, the exhaust, and a whole lot of parts finished in chrome. So well, that quite justifies the color. Of course, you get different colors as well. There are 2 more colors being offered and there will be special editions as well. So yes, the Signals edition is coming back and that will get a matte finish as well. You also get blacked out wheels on that. So well, if you're not for chrome, you also have a lot of color options. Now let's talk about how it looks on the whole. And well, we can simply say that Royal Enfield's designers have managed to make it more retro than it already was. Well, of course, it is a retro modern motorcycle, but to this motorcycle, there is a lot of retro touch that takes us back to the 60s and probably even the 70s. The overall design, especially when viewed from the side profile, looks like that. So let's check out the front end. Up front, Royal Enfield has managed to keep the same classy retro feels going with the new model as well. So it gets the same unit construction for the instrument cluster mount, the headlamp mount, the indicator mount, and the suspension all in one. So that is reminiscent of the outgoing model. The headlamp, well, coming to the headlamp, it's not an LED unit, and that is a slight miss by Royal Enfield. In 2021, we feel that Royal Enfield could have given the motorcycle an LED headlamp, but otherwise the motorcycle looks great. It gives you the same Classic 350 feels that the youngsters love, that the buyers of this motorcycle very much love. Also, you've got the color chrome red, so well, the mudguard features the chrome and the red as well with the pinstripe, and that pretty much sums up the front end of the motorcycle. When viewed from the side profile, the Royal Enfield Classic 350 comes with a lot of changes, starting from the bar end weights that are finished in chrome. Also, you've got the Royal Enfield emblem on the fuel tank with the knee pads as well. The engine is a brand new unit, as we all know. We'll be talking about that in just a bit. The side panels are new, they are finished much better, and they conceal all the wires and the fuel injection mechanism. The exhaust is finished in chrome, and an eye for detail will go straight to the twin cradle frame that is new on this motorcycle, and we will be talking about that also a bit later. Towards the rear, you've got the bigger disc that gives it a much more premium look. If you look at the foot pegs, Royal Enfield has upped the game a bit over here too. It's a flat foot peg that makes it much easier to grip, and also it gets a rubber grommet on the brake lever as well as the gear shifter lever, and that makes it a lot more premium for us. The rear end is a rather simple affair. So you've got the chrome fender, and mounted on it you've got the tail lamp, the indicators as well as the number plate mounts. Towards this side you've got the sari guard, and to the other side you've got the chromed exhaust, and up above you've got the rather simple grab rails. Now we did wish that there was some cushioning on it for more comfort for the pillion rider. In terms of features, it turns out that the new generation Royal Enfield Classic 350 has a little more to boast about. Let's talk about the analog digital instrument cluster first. The old analog instrumentation has been replaced by a new smarter looking version. So the speedometer is still analog, but the rest is digital. So there's a little screen, the LCD screen, that displays the odometer, the 2 trip meters. Also, we cannot move on without talking about the tripper navigation. The tripper navigation is something that has been highly awaited. It is the first time that Royal Enfield has done it right and placed it properly inside the instrument cluster and looks perfect in that space. Now let's talk about the specifications of this engine. It is a brand new engine that is based on that of the Meteor 350. It is a 349cc single cylinder air-cooled engine that is an SOHC unit. So it's got an output of 20.2 bhp, which is 1.1 bhp higher than the outgoing Classic 350, but there is a difference in the RPM that it comes in at. Also, the torque has reduced by 1 Nm, but the motorcycle feels lovely on the open road, and we will be talking to you about that in just a bit. Transmission duties are handled by a 5-speed unit. And well, let's talk about the suspension. So it's got a 41mm fork up front, and it's got twin shocks at the rear that are 6-way preload adjustable. Braking has improved too, and it's got a bigger front and rear disc. So the front disc is bigger by 20mm at 300mm, and the rear disc is bigger by 30mm at 270mm. It is equipped with single channel or dual channel ABS based on the variant you pick. Also, tripper navigation will be available as an optional extra, so you can pick it if you want it.
Riding the Royal Enfield Classic 350 in the urban environment is now so much easier. The bike accelerates at a decent pace, and it is now more flickable courtesy of the new frame and suspension. The difference that this makes out on the open road was immediately felt when we hit the highway. The suspension is now softer and the ride is supple. This, coupled with the new engine mounts, make for a lovely, vibe-free ride. We took the Classic 350 off-road. Not so surprisingly, the motorcycle took whatever we threw at it in its stride. The motorcycle rides on C8 Zoom Plus tires, and these tires provide a good amount of grip on the road in dry conditions, but in wet conditions we did wish for more confidence. If ridden on muck, the tires lose grip completely.
There are a few things that we thought could have been better on this motorcycle. For example, you've got the headlamp. So it's got a halogen headlamp, and in 2021 we'd have expected an LED headlamp. In fact, we'd expected LED lighting all over the motorcycle, but we still have halogens. Secondly, you've got the instrument cluster. Of course, it's an improvement over the older model. The LCD screen displays a little information, but we'd have wished for more information like distance to empty, average fuel efficiency, current fuel efficiency, etc. Finally, you've got the brakes. The brakes are bigger and hence more powerful, but we'd have wished for a little more initial bite and to give you that feel while riding, and that's about it. If you like adventures and getaways like this one, well, you've got another motorcycle to choose from. 2021 Royal Enfield Classic 350 is a huge step up from the previous generation model, and Royal Enfield has really upped the game on this one. I'm Stephen Neal for DriveSpark. Thank you for watching, and until next time, well, get adventurous and ride pure.
So then he will try to shoot you like this. He will put the camera, then he doesn't have to move. If he keeps it straight, the bike will come. Bye bye.